Hello.
Hi.
I hear some background noise.
Maybe mine.
Ah, okay. I'm checking the board of directors channel. This is the board of directors meeting for James Green's English Classroom, October 21st, 2022. And I'm the chair. I want to start by acknowledging who the board of directors members are. Myself, Munmi, Nelly, Fatima, Ahmed, and Nargiz, who's joining us now. Don't have any information about Fatima and Ahmed participating or not. I was expecting them to participate. And let's see what happens. Here comes Fatima. Let's begin. I'd like to begin before we do an agenda with news and distractions. So one piece of news is that Nargiz is joining the board of directors. Welcome, Nargiz.
Thank you.
And another piece of news is that Mohammed Ejbara has resigned from the board for being busy. The schedule is busy. And Claudette has also resigned from the board, and I want to acknowledge that. They're not here to say goodbye to, unfortunately, so we can just acknowledge their leaving, and I would like to acknowledge them leaving and acknowledge and thank them for being a part of the board and working with us for the time that they did. And Ahmed, Fatima, welcome. We're just getting started. I was inviting any news or distractions, and if anybody else has any news or distractions, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm distracted by hearing Nelly in the previous session said that I'm annoyed with me. So this is my distraction.
Okay. That is what I would call, well, it's in the room. It's not a distraction. It's here with us. And we can decide if that's what we want to work on or not, if it's relevant to our work or not. I think it is. I think if we have interpersonal issues that come up, that if we ignore them, it will not make it will make our work harder. So I suggest addressing any interpersonal issues that come up among board members so that we can do our work of managing the group as a board of directors together. And I think that that's actually a good segue into the agenda. So if something like that, like an interpersonal issue, is important for the board, let's put it on the agenda. So what is the agenda, and who is the secretary? Mohammed Ejbara was our secretary, and since he's resigned, we have an empty space for a secretary, either for today or on an ongoing basis. Would anybody like to be the secretary for today to manage the agenda.
Like to do that.
Okay, great. And so could you tell us if we have items on the agenda already from Discord?
I have one from me, which is shortening the board of directors meeting time, duration to 1 hour.
Okay. And are there any other items that people would like to put on the agenda?
Yes. Who will do the confirmation of teacher? Teacher
Who will-
schedule.
Who will confirm teacher schedules? Great.
Mhm.
Any other items for the agenda? Okay, well, if you think of any, let me know.
I would like to talk about the thing that Fatima raised as me saying I feel some resentment towards Fatima.
Great. I assume that you are proposing to change the schedule from 90 minutes to 60 minutes in the future, not today, right? I'm just asking.
In the future, yeah.
In the future, okay. We have our agenda. Let's begin. Who would like to start?
Okay, I'll start with my first topic with shortening the board of directors meeting.
Mhm.
I never really liked the idea to have 1.5 hours, and back then we had a vote with some people who are no longer here who had proposed this, and I think we might think about it again, similar to how we did think about the students learners issue again. I like that all classes are 1 hour and all meetings are 1 hour, and this one can be the same. Also, I've heard that Nargis can currently only participate for 1 hour. So I would, and I do think it's more meaningful to have a time where at least in theory everyone can attend. So yeah, that's my arguments in favor of shortening it. Anyone else?
I'm
I
also.
agree.
Would you like to say more,
Go-
Fatima?
Yes, I want to say I agree with shortening the time. 1 hour is, I think it's better than 1 hour and a half.
Same here.
I'm also supportive of that. And I even would like to say I'm not, I want to reduce the amount of time that I am chairing board meetings. So I think there was some ambiguity when we switched over to the system of board members chairing board meetings. My intention was to name specifically the board meetings that I would chair, and if I didn't chair them, we wouldn't have them. And I think that got lost in the shuffle, and we kept doing a weekly meeting, assuming that I would chair, and I don't want to do that. So I'd like to say that from now on, I'm not going to chair the meeting, the board meeting, and we're not going to have a board meeting unless I or someone else specifically offers to do that. And I'm going to stick to the general guideline of minimum chairing, just as everybody else. I'll plan to chair at least one meeting a month. So I think it's flexible. If it feels like we want to have more board meetings, we could schedule them and plan to chair them just like teachers might do with some time in advance. But I don't think it's even necessary to have a weekly board meeting. Although if people feel it's necessary and people want to step up and chair, I'm open to attending. Back to you. We ready for a vote on the 60-minute length?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor of having 60-minute board meetings instead of 90-minute board meetings, raise your hand. Okay, we pass unanimously. Good work.
Okay, I'd like to bring in my second item.
Before you do, I just want to say something. I want to host this meeting a little bit more casually. So Rosa, if people come in who are not on the board, you can participate in our discussion. Back to you, Nellie.
Yeah, the second thing was that in the class today, I noticed that I felt some annoyance when, and this, yeah, so the moment I felt it was when I think James was speaking, then some student was speaking, Marshall was speaking, and then Fatime summarized James or part of what James said, didn't summarize Marshall and joined with what James had said. And I it just this is some the German exactness which James said. Maybe so that's just how I am. I get annoyed when there's too much disturbance and structure is not completely followed through with, and or
you wanted Fatima to summarize Marshall. And
if I think it was a difference actually, the place where Marshall was and the place where James was, so she should have asked to bring in.
That's a mind read.
Maybe I mean it's not any fault of anyone, it's just how I am. And the main thing I want to say, which is important to me, why I want to talk about this, is that the more I work with Munmi, Nargis, Fatime, Ahmed, James, the more I get annoyed because I'm different than all of you. And I want to talk about this. I don't want to hide this annoyance that I feel. I have hidden it with Claudette. I was pretty annoyed with Claudette at times. And I think it didn't serve us well as a board that I didn't bring in this annoyance. So I want to do this differently with the new members. And I just want to try to let you know whenever it occurs that I'm noticing.
It sounds like you are annoyed in your student role in a class, not with members in their board member role. Is that
well, today
important?
I had a discussion with Fatime and Munmi about the teacher coordination thing, and I said something that was really important to me, and Fatime said, yeah, I'm listening, but she didn't summarize me. And that's fine. And
that's
still
fine. Slow.
It annoyed me.
Slow down. So it's not fine. It's not fine. Fine hides your annoyance.
Yeah. it's a similar thing, and it came back in the class, yeah, when a similar situation came up. So
the question is, how are you with that now? Because at least the way I saw it in the call, in the conversation with Marshall, you may have been annoyed, but you contained it.
yeah, I mean,
Actually,
yeah, I didn't want to put the focus on it. I wanted to keep the focus on, oh, I'm interested in what's happening for me. Yeah, in this
Actually,
containing.
the fact that you're bringing it, the fact that it came up somewhere else means it sounds like you brought it somewhere else. You didn't bring it into that call, but did you bring it somewhere else? Because otherwise, I don't know how Fatima would know that you were annoyed.
I mentioned in the call that I had some strong experience of annoyance, and I came out of it. So that's how Fatima.
Maybe I missed that. If you said you were annoyed with Fatima on the call, I missed it.
That's what happened.
But anyway, we get annoyed, as you're saying, with when we work with people as a matter of course, as it's almost unavoidable.
I also felt a bit of annoyance with you, thinking about last Sunday where you said, yeah, I've taught 3 hours or 2 hours now. I've been in meetings 3 hours, and I can't be in your meeting now. When you had spontaneously decided to teach for another hour, and I had said weeks ago that I want to have this extra meeting. So you could have just not taught this class and taken a break, restored yourself, and then participate in my class. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed with people with whom I work. That's all.
I believe you mean your board meeting, not your class, right? Your treasury board meeting?
Yes. Yes. I had said before you have decided to fill that extra hour of teaching. I had said that I want to have the board meeting. So yeah, that's annoying.
You said extra hour. Not sure I follow you, but it's true. I didn't go to your board meeting, subcommittee meeting.
Yes, and you said it's because I've been online for 3 hours, and actually one of those 3 hours you were just deciding on the fly on this day that you want to teach it. And it's unfair in a way.
Unfair that I made a spontaneous decision to teach, or unfair that you didn't have the attendance that you wanted at your meeting.
Unfair that you would prioritize your spontaneous desire to teach a class over my desire to work with you, knowing that you drain your resources to be available on Zoom. You were doing something else, and that's annoying. You could have slept in that hour and restored yourself, then you might have been fit to attend my meeting. But you said, oh, I can't attend the meeting because I've been online for 3 hours. So
Nelly? So 2 or 3 things. One, I want you to notice the tone in your voice. I don't know if it's noticeable to you.
Yes, I noticed it. I'm in a story.
Yes. Yeah, I would call that, to me, I would say that you're in your survivor role. Not to say that you don't have legitimate reasons to be annoyed. However, it's a role. Like you said, it's a story. And the other thing I want you to notice is that it's the thought that it's unfair that is creating the annoyance. Would you agree?
I think the annoyance has a value, is valuable to notice, and that's why I want to bring it here. I think it's important to think about this, how our plans collide and how we can make a plan to work together.
That may be, sure, annoyance is a feeling, it's life energy. I didn't say anything about the value, but it avoids the question, which is your agency around creating annoyance, as opposed to victimhood in relation to me for the idea that I created your annoyance. That's the difference.
Yeah, I don't feel really annoyed. I'm just happy now. I'm just happy to talk about this. And the moment I discovered this, I've felt annoyed, but I've stepped out of it again, I think.
Okay, so you're switching back and forth. You're switching back and forth from your thought about your annoyance a week ago to your experience here, which you're saying you're enjoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I have to work on not feeling like a victim to you about this issue. I'm not in this annoyance, frustration. I'm not locked in that.
Where are you, if you're not locked in that?
I'm glad about talking about the topic of how working together creates some frustration for us, and that I enjoy or find it meaningful to play this openly and not just speak about it and not just have it for myself. Anyone else?
I want to talk, but my son is making so much noise. I'll come a few minutes later.
I'm annoyed with people who I've worked with years ago and who I haven't talked to in years. I'm thinking of one person who I had a Zoom call with, and I was very upset. And she was eating while I was talking. And I was so angry that she was eating while I was talking to her, because what was going on for me was very important. And her eating to me seemed extremely rude. So rude that I can't forget it even years later. She's French, and so I thought to myself, is that some special ability of French people to make Americans annoyed? What is that? I don't know, something about the way she's eating. I want to kill her. And yet, as I plan to take my break from my daily class, I'm taking inspiration from her, because she was teaching a daily class that I was participating in, or a weekly class, I can't remember, but a class. And she said, I'm going to take a break. And I thought to myself, how dare you? How dare you take a break? I haven't yet finished the thousands of hours that I'd like to speak. So we can be annoyed with people and also inspired by them at the same time. Relationships are complex. Back to you.
I'm also, I've been thinking about this, that it probably isn't good to just tell people what I don't like about them. And I must say that I'm very, very grateful for Fatima's presence in the board and in the group. And it really was a pivoting moment when Fatima started to summarize and to speak more in the board. It made work much easier and seemed like we are moving ahead much faster. And I feel similar with Munmi and Nargis. Yeah, and I'm also impressed by the way, the friendly way James and I are talking about the ever occurring issues with the exclusions. I mean, it may sound hostile, but you don't know how hostile it has been in the past. So yeah, I find it actually quite bearable and very, very beautiful to work with all of you on this.
I haven't yet taken my clothes off in this group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Human creativity can be put towards different ends. Collaboration or cruelty or craziness. And we're exploring what we want to use our energy and creativity for. And what the impacts of using our resources in one way versus another are.
James, you said like we have differences, but with differences, how can we collaborate and work together? Is that what you were saying?
Partially, and I'm also saying that we have resources, we have the ability to be creative. And with the creativity, we can find new, effective ways to collaborate, even when there are differences, strong feelings, or what feel like impassable obstacles, barriers.
So we can bring our all differences here, and with our creativity, we can come together to work.
Yeah, don't you think so?
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree. And I can see, yes, board members, as a board members, we all have different opinion, and it is quite natural. We all are different, and I think, but yeah, we have to find some ways so that with our differences also we can come to an agreement where we can work together. And I have been seeing during since a few days this about scheduling and confirmation, this issue is going on in this court. And I think then you want to be the head teacher, but you don't want to do the job of confirmation and all. Maybe you are tired. This is my mind read. I want to
yeah.
check. Yes, I
Go
want
ahead.
to check my mind read that you want to be the head teacher, but you don't want to do the confirmation job. Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Okay, I believe you. And also I'm happy to hear that. At the same time, I'm thinking, yes, teachers, those who really desire to teach and they are waiting for the approval, how we are going to work on that until we get the approval. The teachers don't get approval, or I think we all are, except you, the other members are unclear about it. So I just want to discuss here how we are going to work on it. If they don't get, or if we don't get any response.
Yeah, so I haven't, there's some scheduling events that I have not confirmed. Some of those have been teacher events, and some of those have been board of director events.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure I ever agreed to confirm board of director events. I think my impression is that's something that came from Nellie. And I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I haven't made up my mind about that. That's one thing. I do think it's the role of the head teacher to confirm teacher events. And I have not. There's been some events that I have not confirmed. I think most recently with Ola and Rosie. And there may be others.
You're on the list also. I'm on the also.
Your teacher event has not been confirmed. Okay.
Yeah.
And mine and Ahmed's.
Yeah, Nelly is also there.
And so I don't know if you caught it, but what I had said in Discord related to this issue is, because it was coming up with you, Moonmi, and you, Nelly, I said, you have two options that I see. One is to what's the word that we
negotiate
use
about
negotiate the criteria for who would be the head teacher. The other is, if you don't want to be the head teacher, would be to explore your frustration or feelings about me being doing the role of head teacher in a way that's different than you like. And I think it's really important to separate out those two possible paths.
I feel sometimes frustrated.
Yeah, and I think, and just to interrupt real quick, I think you already, Moonmi, I heard an answer from you. I didn't hear an answer from Nelly about that question, but you said pretty clearly, Moonmi, that you don't want to be the head teacher and you want to be, you want to just explore how it is to have a head teacher that does things you don't like. And maybe that's where you are too, Nelly?
Yes. And I have another problem. You said I'm not following your lead, and I don't understand how.
Yeah, hold on. So that's it's certain, of course it's related. So let's just put that aside for 1 second. Moonmi, I think you're about to begin to explore your frustration with me as head teacher.
Yes. Sometimes I feel really frustrated, and like why the head teacher is, when so many times repeatedly being asked, and the head teacher is, he comes online, but he doesn't. I'm sure I mean, you were reading the messages and you were not replying it. So sometimes the things, those are important for us, and not being replied, it's really frustrating for me. And at the same time, I also think that must be, you are having so many things to manage, and like you said, you are taking time. Or sometimes I had the mind read that no, you don't want to do those work. You was just want to relax for some time. You want to take break from being a head teacher also. Lots of thing in my mind sometimes, and then the frustration goes. But then again it comes. Next time and again it comes. So that's about me.
Maybe
Yeah.
if you knew what I was doing with my time, you'd actually be more frustrated.
Is it? What? So I just want to, when someone is anchoring on something, just give a reply or give something or whatever, or you don't want to make a decision. It's also right. I'm not ready to make a decision. You write something.
Sorry? What'd you say? If I'm not ready to make a decision, you what?
Yeah. I mean, I said, like, whenever, I mean, someone is asking you something, and I mean, when you are not responding, it is frustrating. So I just want, I mean, even if you are not ready to give an answer, it's just write that no, I'm not ready for an answer or something. Something I want as a reply. For me, for the group, everyone. Saying.
So you don't want to just wait for the next 4 years without any response whatsoever?
Yeah, of course, for not too long.
What about waiting for the next 10 years for a response and not getting anything?
Of course not. 10 years. 10 years is
too long?
I can bear till 1 week, not more than 1 week.
One week.
Yeah.
You sure? Can you hold on for a week? Maybe you need
That I can.
24 seconds. What's a good amount of time? What's a good amount of time where you feel like you have space? 1 week?
No, I said 1 week is bearable for me, not beyond 1 week. And still I'm waiting for your reply.
I used to use 1 week as a guideline until someone who I considered my teacher changed the group in 24 hours. They were silent for 2 years, and then they came in and they gave 24 hours for feedback. And then they changed the group completely. And I thought to myself, oh, I don't have to wait a week. I can do things much more quickly. Which is just to say that you would like something from me.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating waiting for longer than a week and not getting it.
But at the same time, as I said, that I understand, I mean, everyone's way of working is different. And that is understandable.
Okay. So you have mixed feelings. You'd like to make some excuses for me.
Mix. Maybe maybe I'm consoling myself that this might be the possible reason.
Consoling yourself, which
Maybe,
in a way would be kind of like dismissing yourself. I mean, it's comforting, right? You want to be comfortable. You don't want to be annoyed by your thoughts.
Yes.
If you have a thought, for example, James could do it. If James did it, I would be so happy. There's no reason for James not doing it, and yet he's not. And that might be like a way to torture yourself. And so you want to protect yourself from that kind of harassment of yourself with your thoughts about what should be happening. Would you like to get a subgroup for wanting things from me and not getting it and being dissatisfied?
I think no, because I have a belief that you will come with a reply soon.
You have a positive prediction.
Yes, yes.
That's another way that's going to take you away from your disappointment. That's another movement away from your disappointment. Probably wind up more disappointed in the end. You're banking your disappointment. Your disappointment's getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you move away from it, right? You don't know that because you're moving away from it. And what I'm suggesting is, rather than banking your disappointment, to bring it in here, get a subgroup for it. But if you want to live, if you want to, so see, the thing is, I'm not telling you that I'm going to do it. You want me to do it. I'm not saying, yeah, I'm going to do what you want, because I'm not sure that I am. Actually, I see a lot of value in not doing it, in not confirming the teachers at this time. Now that's a different subgroup. I just want you to realize, I just want you to acknowledge it, that you want something from me. I'm not saying yes. In fact, I'm being pretty clear. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. No, I'm not going to confirm the teachers. I'm not ready to. And kind of now bringing in what Nellie said, like, in my role as head teacher, I'm looking for a group of people to work with on this issue. Not saying that confirming teachers is unimportant, but I think that there's something more important. And if you are asking me to be the head teacher, I'd like you to have some space for what I think in my role as head teacher is important. And I don't hear that really, or it's kind of, it's a little bit on the edge. Maybe it's just beginning to open up.
Like to summarize here?
Before that, I want to say, I think it's not so much important for me to change the time. I can continue with my regular time until you decide on something, or
So
I
do you
mean,
know
that's
why? Yeah. Do you know why Nellie is laughing?
because I don't want to make a subgroup for
Yeah. You're still living in what you want. Totally fine. Actually, I mean, you're bringing in what you want, which is the beginning to possibly getting a subgroup to hearing from others.
I mean, I'm either way fine.
You're either way fine.
Yes.
Say anyone else.
Yeah, anyone else.
Okay, Munmi, you would like James to respond in a timely manner to classes, confirm classes in a timely manner, and you think you can teach your classes in November at the regular time, at the old regular time, without the change. And it's either way, if you get a subgroup, if you find someone who joins you or not, you're okay with hearing from people. Can you give me a thumbs up or something? Thank you. James, I heard you say that you don't feel ready to confirm teachers. Confirming teachers doesn't make sense to you at this moment, and you would like to work with us, with the board or the teacher coordinators on this issue rather than on actually confirming classes, talking with teachers, finding time slots for them. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a bit frustrated by what's happening. In particular, when I go forward and try to arrange a class and then at some point say, oh, well, I don't actually know if it's going to happen. And this going back and forth, that was frustrating. But I can understand the issue of not being sure. I mean, if James dropped that today and magically I would become head teacher. If I had to make the decision, do I want the teacher to teach in the class and how often and on what criteria or what, I think it's not trivial matter to decide. So I'm interested in thinking about that. And I think it's a good time right now where James is canceling his daily classes. I don't want to just try to replace this with something else. I think it's a good time to digest what has happened in the past 7 months of the existence of this group and digest that a bit and maybe find better policies or criteria for how to choose classes that happen in the group. So what we really want from teachers, or yeah. And I trust in James doing that as head teacher, but I'd like to also think about what I would do and talk about this with other members of the board. Anyone else?
Mary, I've tried to summarize you. You think you think that the time when James decided to cancel his daily classes is a good time to think about the criteria we want to have for the teacher scheduling classes, and you also want to, you trust James' work, but you also would like to think how would you yourself act in your work in the place of the head teacher.
Yeah.
Anything important that I missed?
It's fine, thank you.
First of all, I'd like to check my mind gate because I don't know if it is in the channel of teacher scheduling, a few days ago, James wrote that the channel was closed. And for me, it was a sign that the head teacher doesn't want to schedule any new class, have any new class schedule. So probably it is reminded, and I'd like to check. So James, I think you don't want to have any new class schedule from other teachers.
That's not true.
Okay, so I believe you, and I want.
I closed the class. I closed the channel because the teacher coordination committee on the board was bringing our coordination work, acting it out in that channel. So if you remember, Nellie had made a comment explaining something to a potential teacher, but I felt that me and Nellie were not working together. So I was trying to channel board energy together. So it had nothing to do with the teachers. It was about trying to bring the board of directors together. Trying to say, I'd like the teacher coordination committee to work together and get on the same page rather than going out and sending out mixed messages to teachers.
I want to join members, those who are frustrated, because I'm also frustrated. Do I need to
Nargis,
come out?
your internet connection is a little
Really?
bit spotty. The other thing that would help is if you take your hand away from your mouth when you're talking so that we can read your lips a little bit, it will help make it a little easier too.
I hope it will. I also feel frustrated, really frustrated with the work of the teacher scheduling subcommittee or whatever it is. And there's so much, how to say, maybe misunderstanding, maybe
If you think it's a misunderstanding, that would be a mind read, unless there's something that you don't understand.
it's something that I want.
Something that you want. Okay, that's not a misunderstanding. What do you want?
I want more clarity from the head.
About what?
About how he wants the committee members to work, and if he's dissatisfied with the work of the members, committee members.
Great.
Yeah.
So you are with Munmi and Nellie. You're frustrated with my performance as the head teacher. You want something different from me. You want clearer instructions, clearer policy, maybe something else as well. Great. Great to know that you're dissatisfied. There's the Nargis smile of dissatisfaction we've all come to become so familiar with. There's some tension, and my impression, you might think differently, is that actually it's a kind of tension that has a lot of potential energy. People are saying, I don't want to do that, but I want you to do it. And when you do that, it kind of the potential energy goes up and up and up. And right, so you're containing your dissatisfaction. You've got your subgroup. When we contain energy, it has a tendency to transform what's going on. Sometimes it's really all that's necessary is containing the energy. Like a battery of dissatisfaction. Go ahead.
There's something that I wanted to offer. I don't
can't hear you. Can't hear you. Your sound is
sorry. Okay, and there was something that I wanted to offer. I don't know if it is the right place for it. I'd like to offer my help in any way in the work of the board members or in teacher scheduling subcommittee. I'd like to see if members have some work that they would like to someone else to take over, and I could help with it. Anyone else, I guess? And I'm so sorry, I'll have to leave in
Ah.
2 minutes.
Great. I don't know if this is helpful, but I'm gonna just say something because I've been thinking about this issue about what's going on in me, where I feel quite like I'm not ready to take action as head teacher. And what I thought about was, Nellie, when you were making a transition in your role as treasurer, and I remember I asked you, I said, could you tell me something? Could you give me the information about, I don't know, who taught or who had paid or who had been paid? And you said, no, I'm not going to get that information for you. I want you, James, specifically to learn how to do it yourself. And I didn't like that, but it made sense to me. And I imagine that there are people who don't like me just stopping. My gut tells me, though, that it's totally okay. That there's a kind of nervous energy in the group that's kind of like, we have to do. But it's actually more like, you have to do. You have to do it. Come on, do it. Come on, do it. And I'm noticing that that's a kind of like, it's something that I don't want to give into. Like, oh no, I don't have to do. Not at all. Well, what's stopping you from doing? I don't get it. So I'm not saying that maybe there is something stopping, right? There's something going on here that I find interesting, and I don't want to rush through it. And to me, the value of not rushing through it, to me, is more, I'm making this assessment, you might disagree. It's more valuable to me than having a few teachers teach a few classes in October or even November. Bye, Nargis.
Hey. Like to summarize you, if you are.
Yeah.
So you discover, you sense an energy in the group where the group wants to do work, but also a lot pushing others to work.
It's really the second one. It's not the first one. I'm not getting the sense that people want to work. I'm getting this real strong sense that people want others to work.
So you get a sense that people don't want to do things themselves, but instead want somebody else to make some decisions they are not, or some work they are not ready to do. And you see really a lot of value in just exploring how you feel in this situation, rather than giving in to the pressure of doing what others ask you to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna just use a metaphor because it came to me just now, and that is driving on the highway. Sometimes when I'm driving on the highway, people get behind me, and they get really close behind me to try to push to get me to drive faster. And I have a bad history of getting a lot of speeding tickets. It's very easy for me to get speeding tickets and to feel the pressure of somebody behind me and to speed up. And it really takes for me a lot of discipline to not react to that person and make a more dangerous situation, and to simply say, okay, there's somebody who's rushing me. I'm going to get out of their way. If they want to get a speeding ticket or speed or drive dangerously, it's out of my control. I don't want to put myself in a more dangerous position, and I don't want to get a speeding ticket. And I've got to kind of be sensitive to that pressure in order to keep myself where I want to be. And I feel something similar to that, where a bit of a kind of pushing behind me, like, go faster, and my gut tells me, no, actually, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, you have a metaphor where in this situation with the cars, it's really, it may be dangerous. Some people want you to do something, and it's not what you want, and you have to actively make a decision and work to stay with that decision, to not let them push you, and stay with something that makes sense for you and that feels right for you.
Yeah, and just I'll take you with one more step, if you don't mind. I did that by saying, would you like to be head teacher? And everyone said very clearly no. And so that again, the highway metaphor, people go really quick. Then I pull over into the slower lane. They don't pass me because they don't want to get a ticket. They want me to go ahead and be the person in front who's risking getting a speeding ticket. And once I slow down, they also kind of, it depends. But here too, I think it's really important that people notice that people don't say, yeah, I would like to do it. I have the spontaneous energy to do all these things that I'd like you to do. When as soon as people say no, that's a great sign for me that it's totally fine to just do what I'm doing.
So in our
is that a thumbs up to me, Fatima? What was that? Yeah. Okay.
So in our group here, you are discovering that people don't want to actually do the work they want you to do.
Yeah,
and that's
not at all.
Safe sign that they don't really know what they're talking about.
It's not as much of a crisis that they seem to be acting as it is, right? It's not as much of an emergency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I said that before. I think James didn't hear it, but I said that I'm trying to put myself in this role of head teacher. I don't have a desire to actually take on the role. Because, because I really like the groups that James has created, and I really dislike some of the groups I have created. But I don't have to have the role to think about how I would decide, and I'm not clear about how I would decide, and if I would confirm any teacher who wants to teach. I mean, I like what we have done so far in those the system we had. The teachers who have a desire to teach can teach, and I think I mean. One I mean, I'm coming mainly for James's classes. I there's the group is creating a lot of material, you can spend many hours in the group, and I pick the classes that James is teaching because it's for yeah, if I listen to them on YouTube or if I participate as a student. I haven't come even to the place where I want to attend some other teacher's class. So that's
Yeah, I think that's really, I think you're hitting on something key there. What is, you could see, what is the energy driving you to get teachers to teach in the group when you're not interested in participating in those classes? Are you I mean, you want to serve the students. You want to create classes for the students to attend.
yeah.
And maybe you also want to give teachers an opportunity to train, have a practice teaching or develop their teaching.
Yes. Yes. And I really liked I like some of, like, I mean, in particular, I liked Ramesh. There was a class by Ramesh. James was leaving for a while and then returning later. And for a brief time, Ramesh was leading an open conversation. And I thought that was running really well. So I like this daily class. I like it. I like this opportunity to subgroup. And not every teacher likes it. Not every teacher finds it meaningful or is able to do it. I mean, I'm not able to do it as well as James is, I think. I'm trying to do something similar, but yeah, I'm still not doing this. Yeah. I probably wouldn't attend my own classes if I was a student. So, and if I would have the same, just picking some classes.
You wouldn't attend your own classes.
Yeah.
That's a version of the Karl Marx, the Groucho Marx joke. I don't know if you know the Groucho Marx joke. I wouldn't want to be a member of any group that would have me as a member. Because if they're going to accept somebody like me, it must be a really bad group. I think that's also pretty important to, if you know, to get curious about why would you not want to attend your own class?
I mean, the situation is different now. We don't have the daily James classes anymore. So the next best teachers or opportunities to meet and to work together, they are now more interesting. I mean, I might choose to attend classes by other teachers now that there are no more James classes.
Mm-hmm.
So Nelly, you okay, you
Munmi?
started with, yeah.
I want to say something before you go, if that's all right.
Sure, sure, sure.
Are you done, Nellie?
Mhm.
So hearing you, it's getting me to think about what exactly is going on for me that's leading me to be hesitant to confirm teachers. And it's actually just as you said, I'm not sure that I want other teachers teaching in the group. And that actually, it is a big difference. And I've been mulling that over, but there is something about the experience of having created a group, spending a lot of energy to create a group where other teachers can teach in it, and where many of the teachers, I don't like the outcome of having done that. I don't like the outcome of having so many teachers who taught in the group have had developed relationships with me that were very hostile. Rama, Mukhtar, even Yasin, who I haven't heard from. There's something about it, and I think, well, it's not, I mean, it didn't cause any harm, but I'm not sure that that's where I want to put my energy. The work, the energy of creating a place for people to come in and then take those skills and even sometimes people away. I'm thinking, oh yeah, maybe I don't want to do that. I'm not, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do that ever again, but I have some very strong inner resistance to creating another nest egg that will be taken away. And so my sense is even between the teacher coordinators, I don't feel that we're on the same page about kind of coming to, I don't know, maybe mourning or coming to terms with that experience of conflict with the teachers who came in, who we worked to, right? That where actually the attitude was sometimes the opposite, which was, I'm doing you a favor by teaching here. Okay, hold on there, favor giver. Before I let you give me any more favors, I want to really figure out if it is a favor to me or if it's a burden to me. And actually, there's a big part of me that thinks it's more of a burden than a favor to me to organize the teachers in that way. So it's nothing personal against the teachers who are wanting to schedule classes now, but it is just a larger shift inside of me of where I want to put my energy. And especially when other teacher coordinators are saying, we don't want to do this, we just want you to do it. I think, well, we're gonna if you want me to work, I'm gonna really get clear about if I want to do this or not.
So James, you think the teachers, I mean, you already have experienced teachers had come here, build relationship, and then their behavior were hostile to you, they left the group, and you don't want to happen it again?
I'm very disappointed with that outcome, and I want to be very careful about how I go forward. If I do recruit and offer spaces to work with teachers, I want to do it possibly in a different way.
At least you don't want to hear that, I mean, the teacher is doing favor to you, to the group, by teaching here. You don't want to hear that.
It's not that I don't want to hear that. I want to really check with myself and see, do I really consider it a favor or not? I'm not sure that I do.
Yeah. And also you have seen that other teachers coordinator are pushing you to decide on something, and they are not ready to do something, but they are pushing you to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so you were thinking you will do it on your way, in your way, since others are not ready to do, you will do it.
Well, I just know if I give in just because people want me to do something and I'm actually not sure I want to do it, then I would be going compliant. And I know going compliant creates problems. So I'm just trying to do my due diligence and be careful not to go compliant to the other board members.
I think
You know
that's fine.
what compliant means? Means saying yes when I
Yeah.
really mean no.
Yes. That makes sense to me too. I mean, yeah, I mean, don't go against yourself.
Yeah.
So, and
And
it's fine. Yeah.
And the thing is, we're all, I think, trying not to go against ourselves. But when we push people to do something, it makes it harder for them to know what they want, right? That's why we don't push people to talk in the group. It's the same thing, same idea. So I'm taking that as a red flag. I'm saying, oh, there's some kind of push energy. Okay, let me slow down even more.
I think that's fine. It's okay. If we don't have many classes, or maybe sometimes, yeah, I feel myself also, I am expecting answers from you. I'm pushing you. Maybe because I have an anxiety, although it's okay with me that you are not going to have daily classes, at 13 UTC, but still that's my want, that yeah, I would love to see you. I would love to attend your daily classes, and I know that I'm going to miss something. So I was also in support of the teachers who wants to come and teach, because at least I will be connected through Zoom with teachers, with the group. So maybe it is in my back mind, and I am also waiting for your reply. But I think you are right. When
Moonmi, you're voicing something that I think many students have voiced, right? There are many
Yeah.
students who appreciate the classes. They
Yes.
like the classes, they want more of them. And they don't want to do anything. They don't want to pay any money. They don't even want to commit to coming. They just want more of what they want. And my response to that is kind of the same. That's okay. You can want that. Please be ready to hear no. Just hear no. It's nothing personal. It's not a punishment.
Yeah.
It's just, you would like free classes. You would like free, some people even want more. They say, James, I'd like you to be my private tutor. I'd like you to teach me for free, and I'd like you to be available anytime I want you. I mean, people really say that to me. And if I say to them, it doesn't work for me, they say, what do you mean? Why can't I just have everything that I want? And I say to them, well, is that your experience elsewhere? Do you just go around and get whatever you want wherever you go? Because that would be I would be surprised to hear that. And, that people want more classes and they don't want responsibility. Well, it doesn't work that way. The creation of the group has to come from somewhere. Like people doing some work, either we call it sweat equity, right? People don't have actual money, but then they do something. And that has been something like teaching. I mean, teaching has been a kind of equity of the group. The fact that there are teachers willing to teach brings value to the group. But in the overall equation, there's some organizational matters even higher up than just somebody coming into a classroom, teaching, and then disappearing. That is, to me, I think, a priority. And so that's why I've wanted to work on connecting with the board, and I think we are more connected now, which is a good thing. I didn't hear from Ahmed, and I don't know if he left because of internet or if he needed to leave on the hour.
It
And
disappeared and he's online on Discord, but he didn't write anything on Discord about his
Oh.
disappearance. So-
well, we can ask him later what happened. But the point is, I do think that the board of directors is moving towards working together, and then that creates more potential for, if we do want to have more teachers come in and teach, if we think that's what's valuable, we could do that, and we might do something else. It's open.
James, I hear that you are not satisfied with the outcome of scheduled classes by teachers, and you want to change maybe the policy or the way you invited the teacher and who you invite for teaching maybe, or a kind of change you like to happen. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and I join you. Actually, as Nelly said, that he doesn't like to attend in other classes, in other teachers' classes, and he just likes to attend in your class. So for me, it means that she's not satisfied with the quality of classes. Just the amount of class, for me, it's not important to have the quantity of classes. Lots of classes happen every day, 4 or 5 classes, but with less quality that even Nelly or me or Munmi or board of director or maybe others don't like to attend that class. So it means the quality is not high maybe. So I prefer high quality classes that everyone eager to attend. Even if we have one class every day or every other day, but it's a kind of precious class that the members appreciate it, like James' class, that everyone like to join his class, but maybe when it comes to other teachers, they're not so eager. So the focus, I like to be on quality instead of quantity of classes. Thank you. Anyone else?
Fatima, you would like to to have focus on teachers who create really good classes that are very popular, very interesting for everyone, rather than
Yes, and the quality, I don't define the quality, which class is good or bad. It's the student who determine it, not me. But yes, more attractive and qualified classes.
attractive classes to many students. Attractive.
Positive outcome for everyone, for majority, not everyone, but majority of students.
I'd like to move us into surprises and learnings. So anybody have a surprise or learning? I have one, which is based on what Fatima just said, that actually I also want to improve the quality of my own classes. That is a part of why I want to take a break, because I have been teaching a lot of classes, and I exactly that notice that it's been harder for me to focus on the quality of those classes with that frequency of teaching. Other surprises, learnings.
I have a satisfaction that I feel more on the same page with other teacher coordinators, and in particular the head teacher in this meeting.
Yes, I'm also satisfied. The questions I was asking for, I actually got an answer. And yeah.
I have the next move to think about criteria for, or bring in what I like about for me, the open conversation in the joining game style is important. I want that to continue in the class, in the group, and I would like teachers who are good at that to teach. And also to work with those teachers to improve what we are doing, to really work more actively on, and that might be a criteria for a teacher, to select teachers who are actively working on improving their classes with others in the group.
And Rosa, Kadar, and Ahmed, you've been in the silence subgroup. If you wanted to bring in anything as a surprise or learning, I'd encourage you to do that.
This is the kind of board of director meeting, so this is why I'm silent, and I want to know about you people, that what are you discussing in board of director meeting, and I also want to be a part to take a decision to make this Zoom meeting fruitful, but you have decided that I will not arrange, or I will not be part of regular Zoom meeting from Monday. So I'm thinking that how you convince to do the Zoom meeting on daily basis, so that we will get benefit from you and we will learn from you like we are learning. And if you decrease the time, so do you know, if a person is attending a thing constantly for 3 hours or 4 hours, so it make a person tired. Actually, we are also not so much serious like you. So if you give us 1 hour time, 1 hour on daily basis, so it will be good for us as well as for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kadar. I hear that as a dissatisfaction, that you're disappointed that I'm changing my schedule.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Any final surprises, learnings?
So
Rosa from Mexico.
Go ahead, Rosa.
I'm surprised because you are improving in the way that you talk about the difference, that you are very different, but you are trying to work better and better and better. And I think this is good, very good for this group. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's time for our board meeting, and thanks everybody for participating. Good work, everybody. Look forward to talking to you all again soon, and have a good rest of your day. Bye, everybody.
Thanks everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.